Welcome to Let's Talk Jonesboro, and today we have Sharron Turman, who is the operations director. What's your title, Sharron?
Softball coordinator for the city of Jonesboro.
Softball coordinator, but that also means she manages our Miracle League and the Southside Softball Complex, all the events that happen out there, and we've got two major events coming up, and I think they're really going to be exciting. The Jennie Finch event is coming to town, and Jennie Finch is a gold medal winning softball pitcher that you'll remember from the Olympics, probably 2004, but that was Greece. I think she was so good they literally made softball no longer an Olympic sport because she dominated it so well. And then also we have the Wounded Warriors team flying from all parts of the United States to play, and they ask for the best Jonesboro has to offer. So we immediately scratched Wicks and Huffstetler off the team and got together some of our best athletes, our best softball players in Jonesboro, and that we're going to line up against them and play on the Miracle League field. Is that right?
Yes, sir. They're not going to play on the Miracle League field, but we are going to get the legends of Northeast Arkansas, some of the players that's been here for a while, and the Wounded Warriors don't want you to hold back. They want the competition. They
want to play. And that's going to be on Veterans Day weekend?
Yes, sir.
So tell us, how'd you get that together? How do you get the Wounded Warriors to come to Jonesboro?
Well, I spend a lot of my downtime, which I don't have a lot, but I spend it looking for things on the computer that would either help Miracle League or see how we can help the special needs community. And I just happened to run across the Wounded Warrior Amputee softball team, and I thought it would be so great to have them come. And on their calendar last year, they were playing in Little Rock, July the 4th. I went down to the Little Rock tournament and met Dennis Wentz, he's their director, and talked to him about coming to Jonesboro as a fundraiser for the Miracle League. And Dennis says, well, you know, we might not be able to come next year. It usually takes 3 years for us to get everything in line and get booked. Well, I was a little persistent, so we ended up getting them this year, and they also work real closely with Jennie Finch. They both partnered together to do different events. I could not get them together on the same weekend, but Jennie's coming the weekend before they're coming, on November 4th and 5th.
Now, and what does Jennie do? She puts on a camp, or does she put on an exhibition? Tell me about what her event's going to be about.
Okay, her event is going to be a 2-day softball camp for girls ages 3rd grade and up, and they must pre-register. They can go to her site, jenniefinch.com. But she will be here for 2 days hosting that camp, and like I said, the Lady Red Wolves and the Lady Bearcats are going to help her host that camp. While she is here for that camp, we're going to host a dinner for champions on Saturday night, November the 4th, at Forest Home Nazarene Church. That will be at 6:30 on Saturday night, and you don't have to be a participant of the camp to attend that dinner. Anybody in the community can attend that dinner on Saturday night.
Is that a fundraiser for the Miracle League?
Yes, sir, it is.
And Jennie Finch now she's a Hall of Famer. This is one of the finest softball pitchers, and she's a legend. This is a true softball legend coming to Jonesboro, right there.
Yes, she was in the 2004 and 2008 Olympics, and they took softball and baseball out of the Olympics, but her teammates, and Mike Conderas, which was her coach for the Olympics, they were all instrumental in getting Olympics back, softball back into the Olympics in 2020. So there will be softball back in the Olympics.
And the reason they took it out, to be quite honest, without being arrogant, is that the United States was so dominant, so maybe the rest of the world is catching up a little bit, hopefully, to make it more competitive. But Jennie Finch is mainly the reason. It's her fault because she was so good. She's just a fabulous softball pitcher, and so this is a great honor for her to come to Jonesboro for this event.
Yeah, she's actually struck out Albert Pujols.
Is that
Yes, she has. There's some YouTube videos of her striking him out and some other Major League Baseball
yes,
players.
I remember she struck out Alex Rodriguez and a few other of the Texas Rangers at one point. And so that's she is not to be trifled with a bat.
And she is a fabulous human being. I went down to her camp last year in Bryant, and that's when I begged her to come to Jonesboro. But she is such an inspiration, and there was 283 campers there, and she treated each little girl just like she was the only one there.
Is that right?
She's just a fabulous person.
Well, and then you have the Wounded Warriors. Now, by definition, they are wounded, but everyone is an amputee.
Mm-hmm. They have to be a veteran. They have to have at least one amputation. Most of them have 2, and some of them have 3 amputations.
My goodness.
And I talked to the director yesterday, and he said, Sharron, I'll send you an itinerary just as soon as I find my 12th player. He said, I'm one that was supposed to come, can't come. And I said, you know, I've got a person that works for Jonesboro Prosthetic and Orthotics. They're one of our sponsors because we have to have them on site to take care of the prosthetics and everything. Mm-hmm. And his name's Michael, and he has a double amputation. And he said that would be awesome to have Michael play with us.
Wow.
So one of our locals is going to get to play on their team.
That's wonderful.
It's just so exciting to me.
That is wonderful. And these are guys and women, I would assume, that served our military and have been injured in combat and are not letting their injury defeat them. And there's nothing more admirable, I don't think, than that. It's hard to imagine.
Yeah, it just shows their courage, and they want to get back in the community, and they want to show others that whatever life hands you, it don't have to be defeat. That
That's
you can
right.
beat it, and you can get out in the community and take charge.
And play softball.
And play softball.
And that's a wonderful thing. That's a wonderful thing. And that's also part of the mission of the Miracle League, is it not?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We want to give each child an opportunity to play the game of baseball just like everyone else.
Right. And the Miracle League serves, if you don't know about the Miracle League, it serves kids with special needs and adults with special needs. You have a buddy and you play the game on a surface that is pretty much injury proof. And tell us what else we need to know about it. I mean, that you have, it's for visually impaired, hearing impaired.
Yes, any child that can't participate in a regular sports league, they can have Down syndrome, they can have ADHD, autism, they can be in a wheelchair, they can have a walker. This is a place where they can come and be themselves and play with their peers.
And I think those things go hand in hand. And that league has grown, Sharron.
It has. We started out the first year with 4 teams. This past year we had 12 teams.
Isn't that incredible? And each team is 12 participants, is that
Yes,
right?
yes.
So, I mean, these kids are coming not just from Jonesboro then.
No, we have one. We have 2 that travels from Crothersville, Missouri, every Saturday morning. We have 2 that comes from Marion. We have some participants from Wynn, and as far away as Searcy.
My goodness, and they come every weekend or during the season.
Mm-hmm. Our spring season runs from April the 1st till June the 1st, and then our fall season runs from September the 1st to November the 1st.
My goodness.
Every Saturday.
So it's just growing by leaps and bounds.
Yes, and I'll just tell you a short story. We had a lady come by Saturday. Her daughter was in a wheelchair, and she was just going to come play at the playground there next to the ball field. And she come up to Camelia, our director out there, and she said, "Is it all right if we let my daughter try to play on a team? Can we see if she would like it?" And Camelia said, "Sure." And so we got her a buddy, and she got out on the field. She was in a wheelchair, and that child smiled from ear to ear the whole time she was there. And she said, "We'll be back." This is a great experience for my daughter. She's always wanted to play the game of softball. So
That's fabulous.
I mean, just things like that happen out the Miracle. It's magical out
It
there.
just touches your heart, doesn't it? Tell us about what people need to do to get tickets to the Wounded Warrior game.
Okay. Well, can we talk about the banquet?
Yes.
Okay. They're coming in Friday, November the 10th. They will be at Central Baptist Church. We're going to have a VIP ticket for $75. They can actually meet and greet and talk to the VIP, the Wounded Warriors from 5:30 to 6.
Okay.
Regular tickets $25. If you want a table of 8, it's $200. You can go to eventbrite.com and get tickets there, or you may come to City Hall at the collector's office and purchase your tickets there. The event is going to feature Tommy Raffo, the ASU baseball coach. The Wounded Warriors, one of them will be speaking, and even our Miracle League, Gavin Grubbs, will be talking that night as well. Silent auction, lots of good food, and lots of good fellowship.
Very nice.
Then Saturday morning, our amputees will be participating in the Veterans Parade downtown. It begins at 10 a.m. They'll ride on a float with some of our Miracle League ambassadors. They'll have lunch downtown, and then we will head to Southside with a motorcycle escort and take those guys in with color guard and lots of frills, and they'll play a game at 2 o'clock and again at 3:30.
So they're going to be around for 2 days, and it's on Veterans Weekend. I mean,
Yes.
that's a coup.
Yeah, a God thing.
So you had to really get that. You really had to hustle to get that, Sharron. You've done some fabulous things for Jonesboro, and we
Well,
just can't
thank you.
be more grateful for all you've done. Where will these guys be coming from? I mean, you're flying them in, and you've had these. They're coming from.
Well, I haven't been given any specific towns, but I know Dennis told us they were from all over the United States, so he's had to really,
It's not one city's
No, they're from all over the United
veterans.
States.
They fly in from every different corner of the country, don't they?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
You've got that going on. You've got these 2 big events. These are fundraisers for the Miracle League,
Yes, it is.
and so once you do that, what do you have? What do you have next? A deep breath.
Yeah, a deep breath. It'll be softball will be over as far as Southside for the winter, and we're already looking forward to next spring, getting our junior high league together. I mean, we've just got lots of things going on all the time.
Tell us what's going on at Southside. I know we're getting ready to demolish the bathroom and concession complex there and replace it with something brand new and much nicer.
Yeah, and I've been around softball since 1980, and I was only 10. But anyway, I played ball out there in 1980, and that concession stand's been there since 1980. So
Is that right?
It's been there a long time, and it needs to be gone. And I'm so blessed to hear that the budget's going to allow us to do that.
Well, the city only took over that complex within the last 4 or 5 years.
2011.
Correct? 2011, okay. And so we've pumped in almost $1 million
Yeah.
to upgrade and work on that facility. And so this is just another step into getting it up to speed and making it nice the way Joe Mack Campbell, and which we're also upgrading Joe Mack Campbell and expanding it too.
Right.
And we've got another set of restrooms and concession stand going in out there. But the South Side is pretty desperately needed better bathroom and concession stand.
Yeah, the city took over in 2011. That's when I actually went to work full-time as a softball coordinator. And Mayor Perrin had the foresight and seen that the girls needed the same thing as Joe Mack. Joe Mack was such a nice new facility, and the girls deserve the same thing the boys do,
100%. Yeah.
And he started out by paving parking lots, and we've replaced fences, we've replaced backstops, dugouts, and built the new youth concession stand. That was really, it was just terrible. So we replaced that first, and now we're going to replace the adult concession stand, and possibly lights down the road. That's the big thing out there is the lights, and of course it's all old. It was built in 1980, so it
Right.
really needs to be refurbished.
What was done? What has been done? I know you've got a new gate entrance. I know there's flag poles have been donated and put up. And was the parking lot paved? Did that have to happen?
The adult parking lot, that's off of Stadium Boulevard. The potholes out there were so big you could fall into them. That was the first thing that they did. I mean, it completely got paved and striped and all that. The youth parking lot has had the chip and seal stuff put on it, but as many tournaments as we have out there and the coming and the going of traffic and league almost every night, it's really getting worn down, so that'll be one thing that they'll do. We have done all the backstops, got concrete block walls there, and all the dugouts have got concrete blocks there, and we're putting up new netting at the youth fields and both entrances, like you said, coming into the park. The yellow piping around the fencing, that's
Yeah.
a safety measure. New foul poles, new scoreboards, still like a few of those, but it's always a work in progress.
Sure. Yeah, you always have to keep updating and stay current.
We've got a new a 40 by 20 by 40 pavilion on the youth complex. We've got 6 batting cages that have been installed. So we're working to keep it right up there at the top.
Very good. Well, we thank you for what you do and all you've done, and we look forward to just fabulous Jennie Finch and Wounded Warrior events. So thank you for being with us on Let's Talk, Sharron.
Thank you.